What's up, guys? I'm on the channel. What we're doing today, we're gonna be working on the Paraglide transmission here that I just bought for 50 bucks on Facebook Marketplace. Cannot go wrong with that price. Now, what's this transmission gonna go into? We'll go into that a little later. Right now, we're just gonna try to figure out what gear ratio this is in here. I'm hoping for a 1.76 because that'll give us a better thing for drag racing, which we'll go over that in another video when we're talking about where this is going into, why, here, where, and what. But yeah, if you want to figure out what gear ratio this is, so let's get set up here. Let's mark things up, and I'll show you guys what we're doing to figure this out without taking it apart, which we are going to rip this thing fully down apart. So if you're interested in watching that, we're going to do a whole series of ripping this whole transmission apart and seeing the insides of this thing and see how much we got to rebuild, what we're going to rebuild, and what's going to go on with it. Alright, so I'm kind of just letting you guys see what I'm doing here to figure this out, and then I'll explain everything at the end of what I'm actually like fully doing here. Right now, what I'm doing as of now is I'm loosening up this thing here. Now, this is something that puts tension on a band instead of the casing. Now, what that band does is it's basically a clutch, basically a little like a band that squeezes something, that squeezes like a drum. Think about like a rope that you put around a bucket and you tighten it like that. It's kind of like that in a sense. Not really like that, but like that. You kind of think like that. That's kind of like what this is doing, except this is pushing on something, tightening that. Jesus Christ, this is pretty. Am I stripping? I'm stripping right now, aren't I? It's a little loose, that's why. I guess you're American or something. Probably half or 9/16. 9/16 it looks like. There we go. So that's tightened up there. I mean, loosened up here. We're just gonna screw the whole thing off. We don't need it. Oh shoot. Oh, okay. Whoopsies. I actually loosened it by accident. Whoopsies. Hopefully I didn't what do you call it? Mess with the inside thing. Alright, I got you. Gotta do this. Which is where I need the wrench. Alright. Alright, so I tightened. I have now tightened the band, which I'm assuming that what I'm doing here is I'm actually engaging first gear, basically, in a sense. Now, so now that I have that tightened, that technically engaged, basically engaged first gear. So now the transmission is. If I twist the input shaft, it should turn the whole assembly line inside the transmission here. So what we're going to do here, we're going to mark up, which I already have it marked. Which I already got it marked up. All right, so I marked it up already, but I put a little mark here for 12 o'clock. I got to do the same thing for over here. So, I do have a mark on here already because like I said, I messed up. Yeah, right there's the mark right there. As you can see, we're gonna scribble that one out. We're gonna put a new one. 12 o'clock right about. Let's say about right there. Alright, so now that I got all that all marked, we're gonna rotate this thing right here, this shaft here, until this shaft over here, and that mark goes 360 right back to where it's at. And basically, and then depending on where this dot lands will tell us what gear ratio we have. Now, if we rotate this whole thing, and it lands on the 9 o'clock position right here, that means we have a 1.76 gear ratio. If it lands on the 10 o'clock position, like so basically at a 45-degree angle, that means we have a 1.82 rear gear ratio in this. So we're gonna find that out. We're gonna twist that shaft, get that twisted back there, get that to where it needs to be, and let's hope for 1.76 because that would be awesome. So I gotta turn this. All right, and like I said, I was gonna explain to you guys basically what is this doing, why does this work, and how does this give you your gear ratio. So this locks in first gear. So you tighten the band inside here, tightens it up. So now you have first gear. So that turns this shaft here. Now, basically what the gear ratio is 1.76 is what that number means is for every one rotation of the output shaft, the input shaft has to turn 1.76 times. So it needs to turn one rotation plus 0.76 times, which is basically 3/4. So one full turn plus 3/4, which is at the 9 o'clock position. So as this turns one full rotation, this turns one full rotation plus the 3/4 of turn. So, and why is that a good position? Why is that a good number for drag racing? Is because when you have a higher horsepower engine, you want the lower gear ratio than the higher one. The higher one gives you better acceleration, but it gives you less top speed, which in drag racing you want to try to get good top speed, just because the more mile per hour you have, the faster you're going to go in ET. So it's basic common sense of that. But yeah, so good gear ratio in it, good base for us to work on. Next video, like I said, we're going to be taking this thing apart. We're going to do a whole series on tearing it down, rebuilding it. Is it all gonna be instant? No. Tearing has to be instant. Rebuilding it might take a little time, but we're gonna get it all teared down and see what's good, what's bad, and any damages or anything like that. Isn't even worth rebuilding. And yeah, so listen guys, if you guys want to support the channel and enjoy it, found this video entertaining, informational, whatever it is, whatever reason you're watching it, please leave a like on down below. Subscribe to the channel to follow along the adventure of this thing and what cars gonna go into and what kind of racing we're going to be doing exactly in drag racing. And subscribe to the channel. Do your taste, follow dreams. Don't get away. I'll see you guys next one.